Hari Bol, Hare Krishna. Hari Bol, Hare Krishna. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namane. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Shri Prabhupada ki. Om Tat Sat. Okay. Hari Bol, Hare Krishna. We have been studying for the past several classes. What are all the great lessons and from what did we learn? Just asking you a question. I thought I should just pose a question to you also. How many great gurus have you met from nature till now? Anybody wants to take a quick? Just checking out whether you're actually following. You must be following. Sure.
The earth, Maharaj.
The earth, yes. What else?
Wind.
The wind, yes. The last session was on the wind. Then, can somebody else say?
Trees, Maharaj.
Trees, yeah. Okay. Then?
Mountains, Maharaj.
Yes, mountains. Right. Okay, thank you. So, who is this who is talking about these things? Sorry for testing you out. Who is this who is talking about these things?
Avanti Brahmana. Avanti Brahmana. Avanti Brahmana.
Anybody else wants to try? Who is talking these things about all these different gurus? Okay. So you see, when you come for these sessions, I will keep asking you questions and you must answer. And also you must put on the videos. I like to see persons personally. Already technology is pretty impersonal. So you please put on your videos. We can see each other at least. And you must remember what was there in the previous session. Okay? The last session we did about the wind. If you remember, right? We spoke about two types of wind. We talked about wind inside, antara, and then wind outside. And we drew some interesting analogies and conclusions based on the Bhagavad. The person who is speaking is an Avadhuta. King Yadu met this Avadhuta. And he asked him questions and he gave him amazing answers. He asked the Avadhuta, how is it that you're walking around, you look very happy, you're laughing, you're dancing, and you look like a young man, fully energetic. And that time he says that I am liberated from the shackles of matter. And I learned from various gurus. And he asks, who are those and what did you learn? And then the Avadhuta is speaking. This incident is being told by Krishna to Uddhava. This story is from the Uddhava Gita. Krishna is speaking to Uddhava about the conversation between Yadu and this Avadhuta. You got it now? It is in the 11th canto of the Bhagavatam. Okay? Just in case. I know it's nice to attend a session, but you must also be taking down notes, remembering what is there in the previous this thing and things like that. Okay? I'll appreciate that very much. Otherwise, we'll be working very hard, but we may not remember. Already it is Kali Yuga and poses a lot of challenges to us. Today, we're going to talk about the sky, right? So we have the background of a beautiful sky here. And what does the sky state? Let's see what it states here. If you look into the Bhagavatam, you will see this particular shloka I've picked up. I'm going to chant Antarihitascha stirajangameshu Brahmatma bhavena samanvayena Vyaptya vyavchade chedam asangamatman muni rabastvam vitatasya bhavayed. A thoughtful sage, even while living within the material body, should understand himself to be pure spirit soul. Similarly, one should see that the spirit soul enters within all forms of life, both moving and non-moving, and that the individual souls are thus all-pervading. The sage should further observe that the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as the Super Soul, is simultaneously present within all things. Both the individual soul and the Super Soul can be understood by comparing them to the nature of the sky. That is, although the sky extends everywhere and everything rests within the sky does not mix with anything, nor can it be divided by anything. You must remember this. If you want, you can read it again. Let me ask one of you to actually read this. Anybody else who likes to volunteer to read it? Anybody would like to read it? Okay, Reshma Raj, would you like to read that English translation on the screen? Yeah.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Please.
A thoughtful sage, even while living within a material body, should understand himself to be pure spirit soul. Similarly, one should see that the spirit soul enters within all forms of life, both moving and non-moving, and that the individual souls are thus all-pervading. The sage should further observe that the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as the Super Soul, is simultaneously present within all things. Both the individual soul and the Super Soul can be understood by comparing them to the nature of the sky. Although the sky extends everywhere and everything rests within the sky, the sky does not mix with anything, nor can it be divided by anything.
Okay, thank you, Reshma. So
Maharaj.
what are the special characteristics of the sky that is mentioned here? What are the special characteristics of the sky that's mentioned here? 4 things. What are they? Can you see there on the screen? What are the 4 things?
It's all pervading, Maharaj.
The sky is all pervading. Okay. What else?
It does not mix with anything, nor can it be divided by anything.
It does not mix with anything, nor can it be divided. One more?
Everything rests within the sky.
Exactly. Everything rests within the sky. Now let me understand. What's your understanding of the sky? Each one of us, how do we understand sky? What you see up, you can see, right? What do you see? You see a blue sky, right? In the night, you'll see a black sky with some stars and the moon in it. Okay, so what is it exactly? Is it a solid object? Is it the interior decoration has been done very nicely for this world by Krishna or by some great architect? That in the night it changes like this? And is he a great architect that he keeps on changing the interiors? There are splashes of various types of colors. How is it? What is it? What is it that you call the sky? Have you gone up and touched the sky and come back? Just, it's okay, you're wrong or something, doesn't matter. It's not that you have to be. What do you think is the sky? Everything rests in the sky means what? How is the simplest way we can understand it? Can I say space?
Maybe.
Limited, completely extending space. Because from here I can see the other stars in the sky, the moon, the stars. So between here and the star and the moon, there's a lot of space.
Space
Right?
and
Yeah. It could be space, right? Be space. Actually, when we start talking about these things, we'll know how small we are. We're so teeny weeny, small. But we have such huge egos that are bigger than the sky. Right? So just look at, really understand what's the sky. Everything is contained in the sky. That's very interesting to know. Everything is contained in the sky. Okay. So how do you understand that? Let's see. And you understood something else from the shloka. Two personalities are being mentioned here. Who are the two in the shloka? One is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Other is the individual soul. And something amazing is mentioned about the individual soul. All these characteristics apply to both God and the individual soul. These four characteristics of the sky, which you said, apply both to the spirit soul and to the Supreme Lord. Now look at the shloka. Yata akasha stito nityam vayuh sarvatra go mahan tata sarvani bhutani matstaniti upadharaya. Amazing statement made by Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita in 9.6. What does he say? Shrikant, can you read that? Sureshwar Shrikant, can you read that on the screen? Translation. Am I heard?
Yes, Maharaj, we can hear you.
Maharaj.
Yeah, is Sureshwar Shrikant there? You'll read that on the screen. He's not there?
He was there, Maharaj. Maybe bandwidth is.
Okay. Anybody can read it, Parma?
Yes, Maharaj. As the almighty wind blowing everywhere always rests in ethereal space. Know that in the same manner all beings rest in me.
Okay. What a powerful statement. Yata akasha. You see that? Just like the sky, stito nityam, eternally situated sky. Inside that sky is situated Vayuhu, the wind. Sarvatra go mahan, it rests everywhere in ethereal space, blowing everywhere in ethereal space. Know that in the same way, Sarvani Bhutani, right? All beings, Matstaniti, they rest in me. Upadharaya, Adharya means I'm holding them. What a powerful statement to make. An analogy drawn between sky and the Supreme Lord. He's saying everything rests in me. There's another statement made by Krishna. Mahi sarvam idam protam sutre mani gana eva. Just like a string holds all the beads together and makes a beautiful necklace. He said, I am that string holding everything together that looks so wonderful in this world. So Krishna is upadharaya. Dharayami ahamojasa. He says, so he upholds, everything rests in him, is a statement being made. So God is not some ordinary person that like we know. He is the supreme shelter. So Sarvani Bhutani Yatakasha Stito Nityam. They all rest in me. Okay. Here is a portion of the purport that you can see where Prabhupada has mentioned something interesting, which I thought you can also read. Vivek, can you read that?
Yes, Maharaj. The sky may be the biggest manifestation we can conceive. And in that sky, the wind or air is the biggest manifestation in the cosmic world. The movement of the air influences the movement of everything. But although the wind is great, It is still situated within the sky. The wind is not beyond the sky. Similarly, all wonderful cosmic manifestations are existing by the supreme will of God, and all of them are subordinate to that supreme will. As we generally say, not a blade of grass moves without the will of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Thus, everything is moving under His will. By His will, everything is being created, everything is being maintained, and everything is being annihilated. Still, He is aloof from everything, as the sky is always aloof from the activities of the wind.
Still, he is aloof from everything, just like the sky is aloof from the wind. So, although everything rests in Krishna, Krishna is not affected by all those things that rest with him. Okay? Also, I cannot say the same thing in certain ways about you. Although in your pocket you have a wallet full of, 10,000 rupees, you can't say, I'm not affected by that wallet. Of course, it's a strong connection between the wallet and you, which is resting in you. You are attached to it. Okay? Although you're holding your child, which is about 6 months old, you can't say that I have no connection with the child. Can you say that? No. I'm very emotionally connected with my child. This is a situation for the conditioned soul in this world. Anything he picks up, anything that is with him, he is very attached to it. He is involved with it. His consciousness is wrapped around it. But for Krishna, although he is supporting everything, he is not influenced by that. Okay? You should understand the uniqueness of, this is why the analogy of the sky is given. And the sadhu has learned that although I am spirit soul, I can also be like that only. Why? In this world, I am actually attached. Therefore, I'm not able to see that I can be like the sky, completely detached from the things. So here are the 4 things. Extends everywhere, everything rests within the sky. Sky does not mix with anything, cannot be divided by anything. Okay? So you look at this analogy of the pot. Prabhupada explains that in many other places. If you look at this in this way, the pot, actually, inside also there is a sky, outside also there is a sky. Pot is open. Is it right for me to say that? Inside the pot also is sky, outside the pot is also sky. Sometimes the Mayavadis give this example to explain the oneness of the spirit soul and the Supreme Lord. But that's a wrong example. Here we are trying to say that the sky is all pervading, that space is everywhere, right? Space is everywhere. But within that space, what is contained is the air. We read about the air last time. Within the space contained, but the air, although blowing inside the sky, does not affect the sky in any way. So all pervasive sky, right? At the same time, not touched, not influenced by the things that the sky pervades. That's the uniqueness of the sky. Although the sky is everywhere and everything is in the sky is not affected, not attached to, or not in any way involved and connected with all these things. Same way, we must also know that the spirit soul also is like that. 2 types of characteristics of the spirit soul. One is constitutional characteristics. That is, in his constitutional position means the constitutional position is the Swarupa. Swarupa is where you actually belong. That is in the spiritual realm, in the spiritual world with Krishna. Okay? But in the conditioned realm, because you're conditioned by the 3 modes of material nature, Nibadnanti Mahabaho Dehe Dehinam Avyayam Sattva Rajastama iti Guna Prakriti Sambhavaha. Krishna says by these, this pure spirit soul, when he comes inside matter, he gets conditioned by the three modes of material nature, conditioned by material nature, then his behavior becomes very different. He becomes a conditioned soul. He becomes conditioned to think, I am this body. He forgets that I am spirit soul. He forgets that I am a servant of Krishna. He forgets that I eternally belong to Krishna. He starts developing a new artificial identity based on this particular material situation he is in that body, according to his karma. And therefore, the conditioned characteristics make him think very differently, diametrically opposite to what he really is. But actually, the same analogy of the sky as it applies to the Lord also applies to the spirit soul. If he gets liberated, then he is no more in any way connected, involved, or affected by the world of matter. Right? So there is also the characteristic of a liberated person inside this material world. It's called Jivan Mukta. Right? And there is a characteristic of a person who is out of this world, liberated, gone back to Godhead. There is also the description of a liberated soul, not gone back to Godhead, but liberated from the material world. He's self-realized. And that's not considered to be a very good situation, because you have to quickly get attached by mat bhaktim labate param. You've got to get attached to the Supreme Personality of Godhead by service. Otherwise, that is a slippery condition. From there, you can fall down again into the material world. But that is also a liberated situation. So, we are all in the conditioned state. And in the conditioned state, you can't understand how you can be free from matter, free from, the attachment, free from being wrapped around and controlled by the three modes. All these things you can be free from. If you were to understand, this Avadhuta understood that I am like the sky. Although everything is around me and everything, I still have nothing to do with it. So he understood that. And this way, our conditioned characteristics, which we are nowadays, in the situations that we are in, we are very, very much involved in actually the possessions that we have. Our consciousness is filled with, this is mine, I am like this, I am great, we are proud, we are, possessive, we are filled with lust, anger, greed because of attachment to matter. I need this, that fellow has this, I want to take it out of him. You have envy for somebody who has got a material possession. All these things happen because of being situated inside matter and thinking, I am matter, I am this body. But when you get freed from this material conception of life, and you get to know that I am spirit soul, then you can feel like the sky. Everything rests here and there, but I am not part of it. This is a very important aspect that is described here, the nature of the sky. But this does not mean that you are like Krishna. Sarvagata, very nicely explained. Sarvagata means all pervading. Now, how to understand that? I can understand that the Lord is pervading everywhere. Brahman is everywhere, that Krishna explains. But how to understand Sarvagata? This is from the purport. I will ask somebody to read it. Who can read that? Who likes to read that?
I can
May
read.
I read, Prabhu?
Yeah.
May I read, Prabhu?
Please
May I
read.
read?
Yes.
Hare Krishna. The word Sarvagata, all-pervading, is significant because there's no doubt that living entities are all over God's creation. They live on the land, in the water, in the air, within the earth, and even within fire. The belief that they are sterilized in fire is not acceptable because it is clearly stated here that the soul cannot be burnt by fire. Therefore, there is no doubt that there are living entities also in the sun planet with suitable bodies to live there. If the sun globe is uninhabited, then the word Sarvagata, living everywhere, becomes meaningless. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu.
So this is a shloka from the Bhagavad Gita. Achalo yam sanatanaha sarvagataha. This is, you will see Krishna is describing the second chapter, the properties of the soul. Achetyoyam adayoham aklesho soshevacha nitya sarvasthano nityasthanu. Like that he describes what the soul is. The soul is sarvagata. Why? Because it goes all over and takes different bodies. They live on the land, in the water, in the air, within the earth, and even within the fire. The soul goes everywhere and takes different types of bodies. In this way, it is sarvagata. All types of souls don't get the same type of human body every time. We have at various times lived differently in different situations. Therefore, the soul is also all-pervading in that sense, living everywhere. So Prabhupada is saying in the end here, if the sun globe is uninhabited, then the word sarvagata, living everywhere, becomes meaningless. That means you'll find souls everywhere in this material world, in all sorts of forms. In the air, there are germs, there are bacteria, there are viruses. In the fire, there are living entities who have bodies of fire. The soul can be everywhere, because the soul cannot be burned by fire, cannot be wet by the wind, cannot be dried by the wind, cannot be wet by the water. All these things you will see Krishna describing. Therefore, according to different situations, in the sun planet, there are living entities because they have bodies made out of fire. In the earth planet, we are all there because our bodies are predominantly made of earth element. You know, bhumi apo analo vayu kham mano buddhi revacha ahankaram itiyam me bhinna prakritir ashtada. This you have understood from Bhagavad Gita. So, matter is made up of all these things, 8 elements. Earth, water, fire, air, sky, ether, like that. Mind, intelligence, and ego. So, according to the ratio and proportion of these, and according to your karma, you'll get that proportion. According to that, you'll have a body, and according to that, you'll live in some other place, planet. Right? Each time we die, we don't know where we are going to be born, how we are going to be born, what type of body we are going to get. All these things depend on the type of existence that you have gone through. Okay? So in this way, the living entity is also called Sarvagata. Okay? So somebody may ask me, so does the living entity extends everywhere like the sky? Like Krishna extends everywhere? Actually, no. Actually, no. It's very localized in its conditional state. But if Krishna wants, by empowering the living entity can be present in many places as and when anybody wants. Like Narada Muni, he has got the capacity to actually go from here to there within a second. He can be here in 1 minute, the next minute he can be in Vaikuntha. He can extend himself. This is different from the extension of Krishna. Krishna is present. Maya tatam idam sarvam jagadavyakta murtina matstani sarvabhutani nachaham teshu avastitah. Krishna explains that very nicely. By my unmanifested Brahman form, I am present everywhere. So actually, Krishna can be present everywhere, as Super Soul also is present. But not in that sense the living entity is present, but the living entity can become empowered to be present here, there, everywhere, to do seva to Krishna. Then everything rests within the sky. That's one characteristic of the sky. It's not that everything rests within you. In one sense, you can say that your body, yourself, is also like a universe that's described, a macro universe and a micro universe. Within your body also, there are so many living entities taking shelter. There are worms, there are, viruses, there are bacteria, there are so many types of living entities are living. If you look closely on your skin, you may find other type of living entities. You can, that's why we keep clean and everything. But so many living entities also take rest within you, just like as though you're a small universe. So in that sense, many things rest in you. Then the sky does not mix with anything. Yes, as spirit soul, you're inside this body. Asangohi ayam purusha. That this Purusha inside this body, Purusha means the controller, the boss. That person who's inside this body, he's asanga. Actually, he doesn't belong to this body. He's got nothing to do with this body. He's temporarily taken up that body. Just like you may temporarily take a skin diving suit and go snorkeling somewhere in the Andamans. But that's a temporary body. You know, it doesn't belong to me. I'll shed it when I get out and I'll leave it and I'll go. In this way, you may play a drama, you may wear a costume, and you play that particular role in that drama. You may be King Bharata, who went to the forest and became attracted to a deer. You may play that role. As soon as the drama is over, you'll give up that costume and you're back again, right? So in this way, actually, it doesn't belong to you. You don't mix with it, but you just play that role in that sense, okay? So another thing here is cannot be divided by anything. God is one. Brahman is the supreme personality of Godhead. Brahman is everywhere. In one sense, cannot be divided by anything means cannot have anything material that will divide up. Like the soul, it is mentioned, akledoyam. It cannot be divided. Means you cannot use a material instrument to cut the soul into two pieces. That can never happen. Two completely different, diametrically opposite things. One is spirit, the other is matter. You cannot use matter to affect the soul. That way it means nothing can be divided. Soul does not divide and become two souls. Some people give all sorts of theories. So that's all being, smashed here. Similarly, the Supreme Lord is one. And we are all his part and parcels. That is the only twosome. I and the Lord. There are only two things. Everything else is coming from the Lord. I also belong to the Lord. I am also part of his energy. So these things should be understood very well. Sometimes when we hear some of these philosophies being cited improperly, we may get wrong conclusions inside. So these are the wonderful things that he learned from the sky. How the spirit soul is trapped within this body, within this matter and 8 elements. And how actually he doesn't belong there. He's very much like the sky. How the sky is free. It's extending everywhere. It doesn't get influenced by anything that is resting on it and remains purely separated. The same way the Lord is also like that. The spirit soul is also like that. This Avadhuta understood this amazing thing from looking at the sky. Actually, you can see how we can learn from nature. Especially if you know Bhagavad Gita, and you can see there are many examples of it in nature. A jnani, a learned man, an intelligent man is a person who can observe very carefully and learn lessons. See, now, while we're living in this world, we are interacting with the world. We are interacting with other people who are interacting with the world. And therefore, if you have this knowledge, within those interactions and within your observations of nature, you can learn a lot of things like this sadhu is learning. And not only is he learning, he's applying it in his life. He's applying. And Krishna is speaking about this. And Krishna is telling that you can be your own guru using your intelligence. That's what I explained to you in the first class, that how Krishna starts this conversation by saying, Atmano Gururatmaiva, in the 11th canto, 7th chapter, 20th shloka, Atmano Gururatmaiva Purushasya Visheshatah Pratyaksha Anumanabhyam Shreyo Sara Anuvindate. Those things, Pratyaksha and Anumana, what he directly perceives and what he can perceive using his intelligence. Using these two things, you can teach yourself. That Atmano Guru Atmaiva. You can be your own guru. right? For that you need Shastra, you need another person who is your guru, who teaches you. But if you try to do it alone, you'll start speculating. Don't take the shloka and go off alone. Oh, really? I did not know this. I am my own guru. Wow, I always thought so. Thank you, I'm liberated. Then you are lost. You can be your own guru using the Shastra and using sadhu. Sadhu, Shastra, Guru. This is a triangle. You must always, this tripartite relationship you should maintain. You should always have association with sadhu, with another devotee, and learn from him. You should always have association with another exalted personality who can instruct you, who can give you directions, like that guru. So we live in a community of devotees. They're all sadhus, and we will exchange like we're exchanging here what we have understood from the Bhagavatam and the Bhagavad Gita. And then at the same time, there may be people who are quite experienced and have learned very well, have practical knowledge by applying these things. They've got jnana vijnana sakitam. And you may want to consult them and take instructions from them and completely follow what they say. So these are categories of people. That this sadhu is not a person who's individually speculating, otherwise Krishna wouldn't have spoken about him to Uddhava. Okay? This individual speculation thing is very dangerous. Sometimes when you read the Bhagavatam, if you are on that mode, you will start interpreting many things. Oh, I can learn from the earth. I can learn from these 24 gurus. Why do I need a guru at all? But you may not have that capacity. Unless a person has a guru and he can listen to him and through him learn from all these elements, then it is correct connection. Okay? So don't mistake this, teachings that Yadu Maharaj, Maharaja Yadu, is learning from this Avadhuta. Om Tat Sat, I will end here on lessons from the sky. Any question or any comment? Any question or any comment? What, Maharaj, yesterday, wind also, last time, wind also, you spoke like that. And sky also, you spoke like that. It's all not attached to this thing like that. But there are subtle nuances to it. You should see the example of the wind not carrying the aroma is applicable to you, because when you travel, you move, you come in touch with many things in this world, you don't pick up that. Right? So you may go to the office, you may go to the shop, you may go to your friend's house, you may go for a festival, for a marriage. We should know we are moving and associating with other things which are material. And we don't pick up the vasana, the aroma, the subtle elements, aspects of it. Then we can be safe. But here, not mixing, it means a liberated soul. Asangohi ayam purusha. Prabhupada gave a very good example of a Jivan Mukta. He said you take a dry coconut, copra, you can shake it. In Kerala, you'll see it lying on the beach or something like that. If you shake it inside, you'll say kadak 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 sound. Prabhupada said, if you look at this, you will see that the coconut is inside, but the coconut is not attached to the shell. He is inside, but he is not attached. So Jivan Mukta means somebody who is inside this world, but he is not attached. That's the meaning of a sky. So the soul, like the sky, he is inside the material world, but he's not attached. He is detached from. And very soon, at the time of his death, he'll become totally detached and go back to Godhead. So Jivan Mukta is, you can even progress so fast in your spiritual life that even while living, you can be liberated. While living, you can be liberated. It's not that you have to wait for death and then only I'll get liberated. Sometimes you have this conditioned thinking that I have to wait for death, then only from the body I'll fly out like this and zoom all the way, I'll go to Vaikuntha. You may be thinking, no, while you're living in this body itself, you can be totally liberated. There are so many Avadhutas. This person is one such Avadhuta whom King Yadu is contacting. He's already happy, he's jumping, he's dancing, he's laughing, he's crying, he's seeing all these things. Yadu said, "Woman, how are you like this?" And that's when he said, "I learned many things. I became free from attachment to matter." That's how he's speaking this. Okay? Right. Vivek, what's your question?
Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you so much, Maharaj. So, Maharaj, while you're saying about the conditioned soul is mixing with this three modes of material nature, so my question is that, Maharaj, so in Bhagavad Gita purports, Prabhupada is mostly stressing the point that this science is to mainly to protect from the human beings from the material bondage of lust. And even also the Prabhupada is also saying that in purport that this material world is created so that the conditioned soul can exhibit their sense gratifications for only for their sense gratification. So the point, my doubt is that how we can understand that how to mix means the three modes of material nature is affecting us. So the domination of the material bondage of lust is Prabhupada is pointing out. So how we can understand that it is being dominating us and how we can be liberated from that.
Well, you asked me several questions together. First, you said material modes mixing together. We are mixing with material modes. Then you also spoken about lust. I do not know what the connection is, but I'll try to answer it separately. Modes of material nature mixing does not mean mixing a blue paint, yellow paint, red paint, and dipping you inside that and taking out. That's a very gross interpretation of it. These modes are very, very subtle energies. Just like, your mind is material aspect of you. Intelligence is material aspect of you. But you don't see it in the physiological level. You cannot feel it, touch it through your senses. But it is there. It can influence you with thoughts. Mind can influence you with thoughts. And the thoughts will be so heavy that it will push you to act. And you will act physically. Right? So that is a subtle. Thoughts have got power. So subtle matter. Now, how are the thoughts pushing you? Because the mind is influenced by the three modes. When the three modes influence the minds, you will produce rajasic thought, tamasic thought, sattvic thought, like that. So it starts with the mind being influenced by the modes. That's where the attack point is. It's not on the body. It's in the level of the subtle body. So then you will produce those types of commands for the body to do those things. And the mind will start producing those type of thoughts, pushing the body. Right? So this is how the modes work. The modes work through the mind, and then from the mind through the whole body. And you perform some action. Okay? So, karanam gunasangasya sadasat yoni janmashu. That the reason for us taking various types of bodies and roaming around in this world, Brahmanda Brahmite, is karanam guna sangasya, association with the modes. We all like this association very much. We are addicted to this association because of so many janmas in this world. Right? We get addicted. So what happens when you get addicted through the modes to matter? Material influences, material tastes develop, material consciousness develop. Then what happens is possessions, envy, greed, lust all come. Because first of all, there is pride in thinking that I am good in this way. I look very good. I speak very good. I got a lot of money in the bank. I'm very rich. I come from a big sophisticated family. There are all these material assets. Janma Aishwarya Shrutashribir Yedamana Madhapuman. It'll make you proud. When you become proud, all these things will come inside that. What is that? Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Mada, Matsarya. envy, greed, lust, everything will come inside there. Pride is the super thing. I think I'm very great, from there comes everything. So there's a whole process of how this occurs. By contact with material nature, because you have a stake in it. I want material sense gratification. If you want that, then you have to be under my control like this. Like, I need money for living in this world, for my roti, kapada, makan. So the job means what? He tells, I'll give you money. I know you need money. I'll give you money. But you must do the following things for me. You have to work like this. You have to give me 10 hours a day. And I'll give you the following things to do. You must accomplish it within so and so time. And I keep giving you this project, that project, and every month I'll give you the salary. He'll really suck you. He'll actually make you work like nothing, and then he'll give you the salary. There's a quid pro quo. You give me this, I give you that. Similarly, in the material world, the conditioned soul is there because he wants sense enjoyment. And sense enjoyment, material gratification, Maya has said, okay, I'll give you. You should do the work for me. To make this world run, I will use you. How? I will induce greed, lust, anger in you, and you will run around doing all these things. My world will work. It's a very subtle quid pro quo. What's my salary? I get sense gratification. What you have to give me? You have to become a zombie, and you have to do, I'll push you through the modes. You'll have to do this and that for me, so that the material world functions. And this is very difficult for the soul to understand, that he is actually doing this. He is running around by the pushing. Swabhavastu pravartate. He is moving around because swabhava means characteristic, a personality that is brought about by the influence of the modes on you. When the influence of the modes is there on you and you run around doing things, and the amazing thing is, you're being pushed and you're made to do things, and you will say, I did it. And you'll get great feeling. Ahankara vimudha atma kartaham iti manyate prakriti kriyamanani kunahi karmani sarvasha. Another foolish thing is, although you're being given a kick in the butt and asked to do certain things, because you'll get a little commission of sense gratification, while doing that, you'll say, I did it, I did it. But actually, the modes are making you do it. Right? So this is our situation. We should know where we are situated, what's the coordinates, how we are situated. That's what the Bhagavad Gita explains fully. And then it also explains to you, Krishna explains how to get out of that place. Okay? So lust is a concomitant thing. It's part of life. It is the reason why we are stuck as a paste on this material world. We will not agree, actually. No, I am not lusty. No, I am not envy. No, I am not greedy. I am a Satya Sandha. Look at me. I look so nice. Look at me in the mirror. It is not you. It's a programmed individual, programmed by three modes talking and answering to you. What to speak of robots and AI, everything. It's already happening inside here. You are not what you think you are. And all the things that you are saying is not your voice. It's Maya's voice. If you look at very carefully, you'll get very scared. Oh my gosh, this is true, actually. This is actually true. We are robots, we are programmed, and we are moving around as per what Maya has put the program in our head. But we go around thinking, I am an individual. I am, I have the right and freedom of speech, everything. Yes, go ahead. Yes, go ahead. Maya says, yes, of course you have the right freedom. Go ahead, speak. Because she's controlling you. She's telling you're inside the house, inside the jail. Loudly you shout. Of course you have the right to speak. And you feel more encouraged and you speak. All these things are not the true thing. That's why here it is mentioned, imagine being free from this whole program. Imagine no modes are functioning on you. How light you'll be. You're on your own. I am spirit soul. You're liberated from the influence of matter. That's what is your constitutional position. That's when you're liberated. Other times you're just thinking you're liberated. Okay, I hope Vivek, that gives you an overall answer.
Yes, Maharaj. Thanks so much.
Yes, Sureshwara Shrikant.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Thanks for the
Yeah.
wonderful session. So, like, just maybe kind of a clarification or kind of a doubt, Maharaj. Like, for example, if we hear from the Bhagavatam that initially Krishna created Brahma, and after that, 4 shlokas are revealed from that he took the entire creation. So, we see also him creating Saraswati and getting bewildered. But those times, maybe Kamadev and all were not created, right? But still, maybe Mahamaya was present, because of which the lust came, Maharaj. How does that work there?
Yes. Yes. You see, there's a shloka in the Bhagavad Gita that says, nobody inside this existence of the material world, except for Vishnu, is free from the influence of the modes. Divi Deveshu va punaha. It is mentioned. Any demigod, all of them are under the influence of the 3 modes. Very powerful. So it's quite possible that even the great demigods are influenced, and those stories are there. So Brahma, even in his Brahma Vimohana Leela, there also he got bewildered. He thought Krishna to be an ordinary cowherd boy because he got bewildered by the influence. Of course, there it is mentioned that Krishna purposely did that to Brahma to do this Leela. But it is true that any time you can get knocked over, anybody at any time can get knocked over by the modes. Because the modes during creation, you will see that by the agitation of the modes only the whole creation happens. If you read creation, the theory, if you go to Bhagavatam and read 3.4 Canto, there's description. Due to agitation of sattva, rajas and tamas, many things are created one by one. The demigods are created, the senses are created, all that happens by the agitation of the modes. Modes are very foundational to this material world. So they are involved right from the beginning. Okay, I hope that helps. Any other question or comment?
Maharaj,
Yeah.
Since we are dealing with this material nature or these 3 modes, it is inevitable, right? That lust, anger, all of this will be formed within us, right? So,
Don't think like that. As long as we are in the material world and we are under the influence of matter and we have a stake in it, we will be influenced. But that's why there's a description of a liberated person. A liberated person is a person who has worked hard internally and got himself liberated depending on Krishna. Okay? He has done his work. He has done and followed Krishna's instructions and it has worked. So we have to do the work and become liberated. That's the business of life. It's not that you should settle down to think, see, it's all happening because of the modes, yeah. Actually, I'm a nice guy. That's what inside the psychology is. It's all because of the modes, it's all because of the jatakam. Shemi, it's because of this, yeah, because of this. This is a trick on you. Nayam janome sukadukka heto na devatatma na griha karma kala. This Avanti Brahmana very intelligent Brahmana, will say, see, I can see very clearly. All these fellows doing all these things to me, I'm not going to react. Why? It is not them who is doing. Beyond that is material nature. Beyond the material nature is Krishna. He's the one making everything happen. He wants me to learn some lessons. And I'm not going to react to this fellow doing this to me. Rather, I'm going to find out what Krishna lesson he wants me to learn, that I'm going to learn. Why should I waste my energy with this tool, with this instrument of Maya? With the instrument, you see, when you take a ladle, spoon, and then you maybe tap your son and say, hey, go and get this. So the son will say, why are you hitting me with the spoon? I'm sorry, I'll not hit you with the spoon, I'll hit you with my hand. You can say, go and do this. Because you've understood that the spoon is a tool. But what if the son says, the spoon hit me on the head, and goes for a trip and takes the spoon and bangs it and jumps on it and bends it up? You are going to tell that, yeah, it's not the spoon here. I'm the one who used the spoon and hit you. So these are instruments of material nature. In the world, mostly people get involved with the instruments. They don't see the remote cause, immediate cause and the remote cause. If you're intelligent and educated, if you're a pandit, then you will not react to the immediate cause. You'll simply keep quiet. You will understand behind this is another controller. That is material nature. And behind material nature, Mayadhyakshena prakriti suyate sa characharam. Krishna is saying, is Krishna. Let me understand why Krishna is doing this to me through this material nature. He wants me to surrender to him. I'll do that. Rather than going doing gusti with the tools and the instruments, the intention of Krishna to do this to me is to make me surrender to him. Let me do that. Because this is never going to stop otherwise. This way, we must use our learning of the Shastra and analyze it and act according to that. That's what this Avadhuta is doing. That's why King Yadu is very happy. How did he manage this? To become free like this. I want to be free like you. Free of matter's influence. Because they're all educated people talking to each other. They're not one university professor who has done some computer science talking to me in the Bhagavad Gita class and arguing with me. That cannot be like this. They are all educated in the Shastra. They're all educated in the Shastra, and they know matter, they know spirit, they know science, and they know that I like to be free from the influence of matter. This is the meaning of education. I am now stuck under matter, but by my education, I know I like to be free from it. At least that much. Then the conversation goes very well. That's why we're devotees. When we're speaking in a different way, and you all understand. You want to understand, and you will understand by Krishna as Paramatma in the heart, evoking that understanding for you. That's the great thing. It's palpable. It's actually happening here. Krishna is working on it, you're working on it, and you will get liberated. It's guaranteed. If you chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, read the Bhagavad Gita, worship Krishna, it will happen. That's all. Nothing to worry about. It's guaranteed by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. His representative Prabhupada has come and said, do this, you'll be separated from matter, you'll go back to Godhead. Om Tat Sat. I wish that all of you are blessed to be separated from matter, be attached to Krishna, and develop your love of Krishna. Om Tat Sat. Hare Krishna. Good night. Sweet dreams of Krishna.